Hi everyone, it's me, and today let's watch this video together! Oh, Gaijin Goomba! Zoom! They fight against ignorance stereotypes. They fight for understanding, respect. Game exchange, bring culture to gaming.
Hey everyone, Gaijin Goomba here.
Hi.
Continuing the Final Fantasy Summons miniseries, let's dive right back into the analysis and look at the Greek and Roman inspirations behind another group of summons, starting with Typhoon. Typhoon in Greek mythology was known as the father of monsters, alongside his wife Echidna, the mother of all monsters. Together, they birthed a wide range of creatures including Orthros, the Sphinx, the Nemean Lion, Cerberus, Ladon, the Hydra, and the Chimera.
Wow. That's a lot of mystical creatures.
Typhoon was also known to be the biggest of all monsters, his human top half stretching as high as the stars, and his lower half were coils of serpent bodies. Wings covered his body and his eyes engulfed in flames, a creature that even the Olympians feared. By the will of Gaia, who was then imprisoned with the rest of the Titans, Typhoon sought out and fought Zeus to avenge and free his mother, but in the end, Zeus won out. While I can't really link too much with the Final Fantasy's Typhoon, I can honestly say he sure looks like someone who could have birthed all the monsters of the world. Speaking of the Titans, let's talk about the Summon Titan. You know what's funny? Mainstream media would have you believe that the Titans were all on the border of being these savage, animalistic, and primitive creatures lacking in a lot of sophistication. But this couldn't have been further from the truth. Titans actually had a much bigger role than people realize. There were 12 of them in total, and each of them either created or controlled aspects of the world, both human and beyond. For example, there was Tethys, wife of Oceanus, who birthed the river Styx, as well as all of the sea nymphs. There was Hyperion, father of the sun, moon, and dawn, the master of light itself. And I suppose that means even Handsome Jack was a little cultured. There was Mnemosyne, who alongside Zeus birthed the 9 muses. There's a lot to the Titans than mainstream media would have you believe. And while I think Titan's inspiration is alright, I just find it kind of a shame how the Olympic god seems to always overshadow them. While we're on the topic of Olympic gods, the next summon, Ixion, also has a lot of relevance to him. According to legend, Ixion was, well, kind of a jerk. Let's just say he and his father-in-law didn't get along very well, which led to Ixion murdering him. Circumstances were a little tricky, though, which is why Zeus looked upon him with pity and invited Ixion to Olympus. Instead of being grateful, however, he made googly eyes with Hera. And if you know Zeus, he ain't having any of that. Zeus whipped up a cloud nymph to look like Hera named Nephele and set his trap. And Ixion took it, hook, line, and sinker. Outraged, Ixion was blasted with a Zeus bolt and had Hermes tie him to a flaming wheel in the sky for all eternity. The child born of Ixion and Nephele, Centauros, went on to create the half-man, half-horse centaurs we know today. So how does this relate to the summon Ixion?
Okay, the mystical stories is a bit on the nose there.
It's a little loose, but I would attribute him being a horse to the fact that the Greek Ixion helped birth a race of horse people, and Final Fantasy's Ixion's affinity for lightning coming from Zeus. Seriously, if you got hit with a bolt of that stuff, you'd probably be giving off static charge for the rest of your life. Another nifty summon that stems from Greek is the summon Alexander. What may link the summon to the name is the meaning of the name itself. And I know that's really confusing, but just hang on a second. Alexander comes from the Greek word Alexandros, which means to ward or protect man.
To ward or protect man.
And that meaning couldn't have been expressed more deeply than with Final Fantasy IX, when Echo and Garnet summoned Alexander to defend against Bahamut. Even in the prayer to summon him, Alexander is the very definition of protector. Atomos is another summon with a meaning behind the name. Atomos' name in Greek literally means indivisible. Now what connects Atomos' name to his ability comes from all of the gravity-related spells and abilities he has. Moves like Wormhole actually compresses enemies down to the size of an atom, effectively killing them, and thus you can see the simple connection. Next up is Remora. In-game, Remora are these little golden piranhas, which are a little distant from their real-life counterpart, but yes, Remora actually exist in real life. They're those little fish with sucker heads that stick to large sea creatures and basically feed off their leftovers and use them for protection. But according to legend, Remora were believed to be much more dangerous, having the ability to freeze air with its breath as well as sticking to war and supply ships, making them immovable.
Okay, maybe the mystical stories, they mistake different type of fishes for different type of fishes, isn't it correct? And sometimes they just combine fishes. Yeah, because from what I know, they don't do that.
causing all kinds of problems for historical figures such as Mark Antony and Caligula. This in turn perfectly explains why Final Fantasy's Remora attach themselves to enemies, which lowers their speed. Next, let's talk about Siren. Now, I know most of you already know that sirens are foxy ladies that lure sailors to their doom on rocky cliffs and such, but what you may find surprising is that while many of us equate them to being mermaid-like, they actually have more in common with harpies.
Oh.
Creepy, right? But it's true. Sirens are still beautiful beyond imagination, but according to Greek mythology, in particular the run-in that Jason had with them, they're more bird-like than marine. With this knowledge, it's really easy to understand why the summon siren has those gigantic head wings and those talon-like toes.
Oh.
Lastly, and probably the coolest one of them all, is Anima. For the longest time, I could not understand where Anima's origin came from, but after a little bit of digging, I discovered that Anima conceptually may very likely come from the concept of anima sola, or lonely soul. A Roman Catholic tradition of praying for the souls stuck in purgatory, the usual depiction is a woman chained, surrounded by flames, yet stoic and patient. Now, granted, there are many interpretations of anima sola, but when you think about what the aeons are, souls basically stuck in purgatory so that their souls can be used to fight sin, compounding Seymour's mommy issues, it just all makes sense. That with the image of Anima's faith back to back with the anima sola, it just becomes concrete. Or maybe they just got the idea from Metallica. And that about wraps up this segment of the Summons miniseries. Next time, we're going to be headed north to discover the Norse influences behind another handful of summons. If you haven't watched the last 2 episodes, go ahead and click here and check them out. And as always, until next time, this is Gaijin Goomba signing out.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for watching, everyone. Be sure to check out my channel for more videos about culture and games. And as always, be sure to check out the Game Theorists channel, where Matt, Pat, Ronnie, and myself do our very best to blow minds with the video games we love. See you then!
Thank you. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that you find this video enjoyable and entertaining as much as I do. Thank you so much. I hope to see you in my next video. Thank you. Oh, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel and comment down below if you have anything to share with us. Thank you so much, and don't forget to follow my channel. Thank you, and I'll see you next time. But hey, that's just a game exchange. Thanks for watching. Thank you. The tribe.